Hi everyone, welcome to Vlogmas day 11. Today I'm going to be wrapping up this year's no-buy. Before we jump in, if this is my first no-buy video you're watching, it will make more sense if you travel back in time and watch a few of my older ones. I do have a no-buy playlist which I will link up above, but that also includes videos from my 2020 no-buy. In 2021 I've done a no-buy again. It has had slightly different rules to my 2021 and this is the fourth part. So feel free to go back and watch the previous parts. There is an intro video and then after that I broke it down quarterly to explain, if you like, what I'd bought over the course of the year. Depending on your viewpoint, you might see it more as a no-buy or a low-buy. I will let you decide. In 2020, I did it based on the amount of money spent, so with a financial point of view or with the aim of trying to save money and measure how much money I was really wasting prior to doing that. This year, I'm basing it more on the number of objects bought rather than the money spent. So I'm looking for a net deficit number of items in my house over the course of the year, which I know I've absolutely achieved, because I've also set myself the goal this year of decluttering 2021 items in 2021. The final part, and to wrap that up for that mini series, if you like, is coming up. I want to say next Sunday, but don't quote me on that. And so if you're interested to know how I did with the decluttering there, and then I will also put in my net deficit of items. I'll take away all these extra little things I bought along the way and we'll have a look at the numbers, so watch out for that video. In this part, I'm going to break it down for October, November and December, the things I bought over those 3 months, and whether I think those items are rule breaks or not. So the first thing I bought back in October, and surprise, surprise, this is me, it was makeup. So I bought the Collection Lasting Perfection Foundation. This is super duper cheap. It is not high end at all, and the only reason I bought this was to give myself a little bit more coverage than my Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint was giving to me. I mentioned in yesterday's Vlogmas that this year I came off hormonal contraception. That was probably about 5 or 6 months ago now, and everything about that has been positive with the one exception, which was my skin. The breakouts have been horrendous. So hormonal contraception was doing its thing to keep my skin at bay. Everything else about it was not great. So I did get myself some higher coverage foundation, but I didn't want to splash out on anything expensive because I wasn't sure if it would be suitable for my skin type, and I was really just in the trialing things out phase. It's worked absolutely fine for a high coverage foundation and I'm just working with it. I don't feel like I need to go out and spend a lot of money on a really high end one. My skin has been pretty bad, particularly around my chin. The rest has been pretty fine, basically as it always is, but really around here has not been good, and it's not been helped either that we're now back to wearing masks. That's really sort of annoyed my skin a little bit. So all that put together has just made for a very bad skin experience. I've continued with my usual skincare routine, and you know, I feel like I'm doing all that I can. I'm drinking plenty of water, I'm eating pretty well. So I'm doing my best with it, but I just felt like I needed a bit more coverage. Technically a rule break because I did have the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint as my foundation, even though it's more like a tinted moisturiser. But I felt like it was with good reason, and being able to cover up some of this has made me feel a little bit better. So rule break, but not feeling too bad about it. And the second thing I bought in October you have already seen if you've been watching my Vlogmas, and that is my blanket. But if you've not been watching my Vlogmas and you haven't seen it, I'll show you. So I had a t-shirt blanket made from all my Hard Rock Cafe t-shirts and I absolutely love it. It was completely unnecessary because I have other blankets that function as blankets perfectly well. But in a way, I'm almost not counting it as a rule break because I've not brought anything extra into my space. And as I said, this year's no-buy is more about the number of items I'm bringing into my space. And so I've not actually added anything, and in a way it's technically less items because before doing this I had a box of Hard Rock Cafe t-shirts in my wardrobe that weren't getting any wear because I've basically stopped wearing them, but that I didn't want to declutter because I'm kind of sentimentally attached to them. And so there were many smaller items that weren't being used. I now have one larger item that I have used every single day since I got it. So whilst it was unnecessary and I did have to pay out to get this made, I'm not classing it as a rule break because I think it's a brilliant upcycling of something that wasn't being used, and now it absolutely is. So I'm totally chuffed. I'm calling this a win. That was all I bought in October. I think at this time of year, I am really good in terms of spending money on myself and buying things for myself, because I'm already buying so much and spending money for Christmas. Even though I consider myself to be quite sensible with my Christmas spending and shopping, it's more money going out than usual, and I think you notice it. And when you're too busy exhausting all your shopping energy on gifts and things for other people, I feel like for me personally there's not much shopping energy left by the end of it. So I feel like I do really well in terms of minimalism and the things I bring into my space for myself or for us as a family, because I'm concentrating spending energy and shopping energy elsewhere. So that was it for October. In November, my first rule break was my nails. I've continued to buy just the glue-on nails. They're super cheap, and then I use the same nail polish that I've been using this whole time to paint over them. It's so much cheaper than getting them done professionally, but it's an extra thing that I don't necessarily need. The sets I've done have lasted between 2 to 3 weeks, so that's been really good. And then, you know, they're gone, they're done. It's not like I've brought something in and now I've got to find somewhere to keep it. So I'm not too bothered by that, but I would class it as a rule break. The second thing I bought in November were new glasses, but I really shouldn't put those on because I'm also wearing contact lenses, and wow. I have problems with my eyes. My eyesight is getting worse very quickly, and so I am that person that every time you get your recall to the opticians, I have to have new glasses. Every time. And my eyesight is really bad that my glasses don't come cheap. I have to have like the highest level of thinning on the lenses because they're so thick, and so not great. I do have to spend quite a lot of money on my eyes. It's very unfortunate. So I did have to buy new glasses, but that is a medical thing, and so in that sense it's not a rule break, but I am a bit particular about the frames that I get. Not in necessarily a brand sense, but there are basically no glasses in the world that suit me. I think I must have just a strange shaped head. I don't know. But so many glasses don't suit me. And I tried on, I would say, probably half the pairs in there of the frames. And I feel like I must have really annoyed the people that work there, because with COVID, they now give you a tray, which they never did before. We all just sort of shared glasses and face germs and it was fine. They give you a tray, and every pair you try on, you put in this tray for them to then clean afterwards, and the tray was just stacked high with all these frames that I tried that just didn't look good on me. And I think out of all the ones I tried, there were probably 2 pairs I tried that actually somewhat suited me. They were the same price. I think they were £169 for the frames, and plus extra for the thinning. It took it over £200 altogether. But because I have my contact lenses from them as well, you get 50% off, so it kind of was not too atrocious. But even so, the amount I have to have new glasses, it's not cheap. But I'm letting myself off with that one. So I had glasses. The next one, definitely a rule break. I bought some mugs. I bought myself a set of 4 mugs, 2 of each of these. This was a rule break, but I saw these mugs and I really liked the design. I have just plain white ones otherwise, and I only have 4 regular sized ones and then 4 really teeny tiny ones, which most people wouldn't have a hot drink out of. They're really just for me when I want a small cup of tea in the morning. I can't drink a big cup of tea in the morning. So really I only have 4 that are usable, particularly if people come around. So I bought these, and honestly I have not stopped using them. They're just so lovely. They're brilliant if you want a nice coffee, or I've even just been drinking hazelnut milk like straight out of them. But I love them and I've not stopped using them, so I don't think it was like a waste or a bad purchase, but not something I necessarily needed. It's definitely easier having more mugs, but I probably could have coped. Like, I've always had this thought process, like, if you have people round and you run out of mugs, just wash them. And I absolutely could have done that, but it's definitely easier just having more, but I wouldn't want much more. So I've got 2 of each of these, so an extra 4 mugs, but I really love them. And they're kind of like a little feature in the middle of the cupboard that make it look a bit nicer. So rule break, but we like them. And then right at the end of November, I went to an outdoor / indoor, actually, it was a bit of both, Christmas market at a farm with a friend. We just went one day after work, and I bought a book for my niece for Christmas. That was one of the things I bought, so that doesn't really matter because that's a Christmas present. But then the only other thing I bought was a little work of art. This is someone's photography. And I say someone, it was an ex-colleague of mine's partner. So at my first place of work, I worked with this lady. She was absolutely lovely. She's hilarious. She's amazing. And she was there with her partner, and her partner is an artist. She paints and she does photography, and I actually follow her art page on Facebook because my ex-colleague shared it on Facebook, and obviously through her I then found out about this other lady who does the artwork. And so she's sort of a small local artist, and I had never purchased anything through her Facebook or through her website, because for me, I think it's something you have to see and look at before you can determine whether it will look nice in your home. And I saw this and I just thought it was beautiful. Let me go up close so you can see it. Oh, my ring light's going to be really annoying. There we go. So it's a water ball in sort of an autumnal beach scene. And I just loved it, and I thought this would look gorgeous in my office because my office is very neutral in colour, you know, your whites, your woods. I don't really have much black, but I thought this would look really nice. And it was just a great opportunity not only to support a local artist, but someone who I once knew. Obviously, her and her partner, they live together, so I suppose by supporting her as an artist, I'm supporting them as a couple and as a family. And that just felt like a really lovely thing to do, especially at Christmas. And I just thought this was really cute. So again, it wasn't something that was necessary, but I think it's all good intentions behind it, and I do really like it. So that was cool, and I got to catch up with someone that I used to work with. It's such a small world. So I bumped into her, we had a chat, and I bought a piece of artwork. And I just love this frame, it's gorgeous. Which then brings us on to December. So I don't feel like I've done too bad. I've not bought loads of stuff. So it is currently December, as you know, Vlogmas. And this morning I got my hair done. My roots were really coming through. This was just my standard sort of every 3 months-ish appointment. So I did get my hair done this morning. It's a tiny bit lighter, and she happened to curl it, but my hair struggles to hold a wave. It can hold a tight curl, but a wave, it will drop it. So that's why it's gone a little bit. But I had that done. That's not really a rule break. I said if I wanted to get my hair done, that was the only beauty appointment I was going to give myself, because everything else I can do myself. Like brows, I can do myself, granted not well, but I can do it. Nails I can do myself, all of those other things I can do myself, but my hair, it would not look good if you left me with a box dye. So my hair is like my treat to myself. I'm allowed to get that done. So that was done today, and also it's just been today. All of my December spending was today. I also ordered an exfoliator from Glossier, which is a rule break because it's a new product that I've never had before. It's called Cleanser Concentrate, and it's got very good reviews for acne. So I figured since I was having the problem with my skin, I would give it a go. The reviews were very much like it's quite harsh on your skin at first, and so you break out initially, but if you get through that, then a lot of people have reported clearing their skin. At this point in time, I'm willing to give anything a go because it's knocking my confidence, to be honest. Like, I look in the mirror and I'm like, yep, it's just all there. And I don't wear high coverage makeup for work, especially now we're back to wearing masks, which, you know, is good. It covers it most of the time. But then, you know, when you're at lunch and you take it off, it's like I feel like I'm revealing just the tragedy all over my face. So yeah, it is kind of messing with me a little bit, and the nastiness. So I figured I'd use something to try that out, and I was only on Glossier's website doing an order because I am very nearly out of my Wowder, which is just a replacement. So I've got another one on the way, and I imagine by the time that arrives, my Wowder that I'm currently using will be all gone. So that's it. That's everything I bought. So if you've seen the other 4 parts if you count the intro, you will literally know all the things I've bought for myself this year. I actually think I've done better than last year. There were a few comments at my wrap-up video last year like, yeah, this is definitely a low buy rather than a no buy. I feel like I've genuinely bought fewer items this year, which is weird because I feel like I gave myself more flexibility. Like, I gave myself my wardrobe, and I don't think I've bought any wardrobe items this quarter. There's nothing I can think of that I bought. So all in all, I feel like the no buy / low buy of 2021 has gone really well. I feel like it's meant that I can save lots of money. I don't feel like I've brought loads of things into my space that I am regretting. In fact, I don't think there's a single purchase I've made this year that I do regret. Nothing's coming to mind anyway. So that's all really good. I'm really, really pleased about that. So I'll wrap this one up, but remember to try and catch next Sunday's video if you're interested to know the net deficit of items for the course of this year. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care, bye.